Your heart just skipped a beat. You felt it, that weird flutter in your chest that makes you freeze for a second and wonder if something is seriously wrong. Maybe it happened while you were exercising. Maybe it woke you up at 3 in the morning. Maybe it happens so often now that you're terrified every time your heart does that strange pounding sensation that feels like it's trying to escape your chest. So you went to your doctor, they ran an EKG, maybe even an echocardiogram, thousands of dollars in tests, and the results came back completely normal. Your doctor looked at you and said the words that made you feel dismissed and frustrated. It's probably just stress. Try to relax. Maybe see a therapist. But you know it's not just in your head. You can feel your heart doing something it shouldn't be doing. That skipped beat, that extra beat, that fluttering sensation that makes you hyper-aware of every single heartbeat. And the worst part? It's getting worse. Happening more frequently. You're terrified to exercise. You lie awake at night feeling your heart do weird things and wondering if this is the night something catastrophic happens. What if I told you that in 90% of cases, heart palpitations have absolutely nothing to do with heart damage? What if the solution isn't a cardiac procedure or lifetime medication? What if your heart is perfectly healthy, but your electrical system is malfunctioning because of a single mineral deficiency that almost no doctor bothers to check? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your heart is misbehaving, what's really causing those terrifying palpitations, and the specific steps you need to take starting today to fix this problem. But first, let me be absolutely clear. If you're experiencing chest pain radiating to your arm or jaw, if you've fainted, if you have diagnosed heart disease or family history of sudden cardiac death, see a doctor immediately. This is for the millions of people whose hearts are structurally healthy, but electrically unstable. Now here's what you need to understand about what's really happening inside your chest. A heart palpitation is not a heart attack. It's not heart damage. It's not a blocked artery. It's an electrical malfunction. Your heart is a pump, but before it can pump, it needs an electrical signal to tell it when to contract. That electrical signal travels through specialized pathways in your heart muscle. When that signal becomes unstable, when it misfires or fires at the wrong time, you get what's called an ectopic beat, an extra beat, a skipped beat, a beat that comes too early or feels too strong. This creates that sensation you know all too well, that flutter, that pounding, that feeling like your heart just did a somersault inside your chest. Here's what almost no doctor will tell you. This electrical instability is almost always a chemical problem, not a mechanical problem. Your heart muscle is fine, your valves are fine, your arteries are fine, but the chemistry that controls the electricity is completely off. And that chemistry is controlled by minerals called electrolytes, specifically 2 electrolytes that work in opposition to each other, calcium and magnesium. Calcium causes your heart muscle to contract. When an electrical signal arrives, calcium floods into your heart cells and creates the powerful contraction that pumps blood through your body. This is normal and necessary. But when you have too much calcium activity and not enough magnesium to control it, your heart muscle becomes hyperexcitable, twitchy, irritable. It starts firing off extra beats that shouldn't be happening. Think of calcium as the gas pedal and magnesium as the brake. When you're low on magnesium, you have a gas pedal with no brake. Your heart is revving uncontrollably, even when it should be cruising smoothly. Magnesium is the master controller of calcium. It regulates how much calcium enters your cells and when. It keeps the electrical system stable. It prevents those extra beats from firing off randomly. When magnesium is adequate, your heart beats in a steady, reliable rhythm. You don't even notice it. When magnesium is deficient, your heart becomes electrically unstable. Every beat feels uncertain, and it's not just your heart. When you're low on magnesium, your entire nervous system becomes irritable. You might notice muscle twitches in your eyelid or leg, tension in your shoulders, anxiety for no clear reason, struggling to fall asleep even when exhausted. These are all signs that your nervous system is being overstimulated by excess calcium activity without enough magnesium to calm it down. Now you might be thinking, if magnesium deficiency causes palpitations, Why didn't my doctor check my magnesium levels? Here's the problem. They probably did check, and the test probably came back normal, and that's exactly why you're still suffering. Standard blood tests for magnesium are almost completely useless for detecting deficiency. Here's why. 99% of your body's magnesium is stored inside your cells, not floating around in your bloodstream. Only 1% is in your blood. Your body will do everything possible to keep that blood level normal because it's critical for survival. So even when you're profoundly deficient at the cellular level, even when your heart cells are starving for magnesium, your blood test still shows normal. It's like checking the cash in someone's wallet to determine if they're wealthy. The wallet might have $20, but their bank account could be completely empty. The blood test is checking the wallet. It's missing the real story happening inside your cells. This is why millions of people with severe magnesium deficiency get told their levels are fine. So if blood tests don't reveal magnesium deficiency, how do you know if that's your problem? You look at the factors that deplete magnesium and see how many apply to your life. Let's start with the biggest magnesium thief in modern life: stress. Chronic, unrelenting, everyday stress. When you're stressed, your body releases adrenaline and cortisol. These stress hormones prepare you for fight or flight. They increase your heart rate, raise your blood pressure, and put your entire system on high alert. But here's what nobody tells you. Magnesium is what buffers those stress hormones. Every time you experience stress, your body burns through magnesium to protect you from the damaging effects of those hormones. If you're stressed every single day, dealing with work pressure, financial problems, relationship issues, health worries, you're depleting your magnesium reserves faster than you can replenish them. And when magnesium runs low, your nervous system becomes even more reactive to stress. You become more anxious, more irritable, more prone to panic, and your heart becomes electrically unstable. It's a vicious cycle. Stress depletes magnesium. Low magnesium makes you more sensitive to stress. More stress depletes more magnesium. Round and round until your heart is firing off extra beats constantly. Poor sleep is another massive magnesium drain. When you don't sleep well, your stress hormones stay elevated. Your body can't repair itself properly. Magnesium gets depleted even faster. Here's the cruel irony. Magnesium is essential for sleep. It helps your brain produce GABA, the neurotransmitter that calms your nervous system and allows you to fall asleep. When you're deficient in magnesium, you can't sleep well. When you can't sleep well, you deplete magnesium even faster. If you're lying awake at 3 in the morning, feeling your heart do weird things, this is probably why. Blood sugar instability is another huge factor. If you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, if your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, you're burning through magnesium at an alarming rate. Every time your blood sugar spikes, your body has to release insulin to bring it back down. That insulin response requires magnesium. The more unstable your blood sugar, the more magnesium you need. And when blood sugar crashes, your body releases adrenaline to bring it back up. That adrenaline surge can trigger palpitations, especially if you're already low on magnesium. Now let's talk about exercise, because this is where a lot of people first notice their palpitations. Exercise dramatically increases your demand for magnesium. Your cells produce energy in the form of ATP. Every single muscle contraction requires ATP, and magnesium is absolutely essential for ATP production. When you exercise intensely, you're burning through ATP at a massive rate. That means you're burning through magnesium at a massive rate. If you're already borderline deficient, exercise can push you over the edge. That's when the palpitations start. During your workout or immediately after. If you notice your heart doing strange things during or after exercise, this is almost certainly a magnesium issue, not a heart problem. But it's not just what depletes magnesium. You're also losing it through your urine because of certain substances and behaviors. Caffeine is a major culprit. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, pre-workout supplements. Caffeine acts as a diuretic, making you urinate more frequently. And every time you urinate, you're flushing out magnesium. If you're drinking multiple cups of coffee every day, you're creating a constant magnesium drain. Diuretic medications, which millions of people take for high blood pressure or fluid retention, have the same effect. They force your kidneys to excrete more fluid, and magnesium goes out with that fluid. Starting a low-carb diet or fasting can trigger sudden palpitations if you're already deficient. When you drastically reduce carbohydrates or stop eating, your body releases stored water. That's why people lose several pounds in the first week. It's water weight. But when your body dumps that water, it also dumps electrolytes, including magnesium. If you're already deficient, this sudden loss can drop you into severe deficiency almost overnight. And then there's the diet problem. Most people simply don't eat enough magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium is found primarily in chlorophyll, the green pigment in plants. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are excellent sources. But how many people are eating large salads every single day? Very few. Dark chocolate, avocados, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and cashews are other good sources. But most people don't eat these foods in quantities large enough to make a therapeutic difference. And then there's ultra-processed junk food. These foods contain virtually no magnesium. But here's what makes them especially harmful. When you eat empty calories with no nutritional value, your body still has to process them. It has to metabolize them, deal with the blood sugar spike, manage the inflammatory response. And all of that requires nutrients, including magnesium. So you're not just failing to get magnesium from junk food, you're actually depleting your existing magnesium stores to process it. It's a double hit. Before we go any further, if you're finding this information valuable, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. I share evidence-based health information like this every week that could genuinely improve your health. Now here's something fascinating. Magnesium levels in your body follow a circadian rhythm. They're not constant throughout the day. Magnesium levels are at their lowest point in the early morning hours, typically between 3 and 6 a.m. This is exactly when most people experience leg cramps. This is exactly when many people wake up with palpitations. And this is exactly when the highest number of heart attacks occur. Early morning when magnesium is at its lowest and the electrical system is most unstable. So now you understand why you're having palpitations. The question is, what do you do about it? The answer is magnesium supplementation, but not just any form of magnesium. This is critical because most magnesium supplements are essentially worthless. The most common form found in cheap supplements is magnesium oxide. It's inexpensive to manufacture. It looks good on the label. But here's the problem. Your body only absorbs about 3% of magnesium oxide. 3%. The other 97% passes through your digestive system and often causes diarrhea. The form you need is magnesium glycinate. This is magnesium bound to the amino acid glycine. This form has an absorption rate of about 80%. Your body actually gets the magnesium instead of flushing it away. Magnesium glycinate has another benefit. The glycine component increases GABA in your brain. GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that calms your nervous system, reduces anxiety, and improves sleep quality. So magnesium glycinate addresses both the electrical instability in your heart and the stress and sleep problems making everything worse. The recommended daily allowance for magnesium is roughly 400 milligrams. But if you're dealing with palpitations, if you're under chronic stress, if you exercise regularly, you likely need significantly more. To address active palpitations, you may need 600 to 800 milligrams daily. But this should be taken in divided doses. Take half in the morning and half at night. Why divided doses? Because your body can only absorb a certain amount of magnesium at one time. If you take 800 milligrams all at once, you'll absorb some, and the rest will just cause digestive upset. By splitting the dose, you maximize absorption and maintain more stable levels throughout the day and night. Now, you might have heard that magnesium makes you sleepy and you shouldn't take it during the day. This is partially true and partially misleading. Yes, Magnesium supports sleep. It helps you relax. But magnesium is also essential for energy production. It's required to make ATP, the energy currency of every cell. Without adequate magnesium, you actually feel more tired, not less. So taking magnesium in the morning gives your body the raw materials it needs to produce energy while keeping your electrical system stable. Taking it at night supports deep, restorative sleep and prevents those early morning palpitations when your magnesium levels naturally dip. How quickly will you notice a difference? Most people start feeling improvement within 3 to 7 days. The palpitations become less frequent, less intense. Eventually, for most people, they disappear completely. But if you've been deficient for months or years, it can take several weeks of consistent supplementation to fully restore your levels. Don't give up after 3 days. Give your body time to heal. Most people are amazed at how much better they feel within 2 to 3 weeks. Your heart palpitations are not in your head. They're not just stress. They're not something you have to live with forever. In most cases, they're a simple magnesium deficiency that can be corrected with the right form of magnesium at the right dose taken consistently. Your heart is electrically unstable because the chemistry controlling that electrical system is off balance. Too much calcium activity, not enough magnesium to control it. Fix the chemistry and you fix the electrical problem. Fix the electrical problem and the palpitations stop. You now know more about what's causing your palpitations than most doctors will ever tell you. You know exactly what to do about it. If this video helped you, if you finally understand what's been happening, please share it with someone else struggling with palpitations. Hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and drop a comment below telling me if you've been experiencing palpitations and which of these depletion factors applies to your life. Your heart is waiting for you to give it what it needs. Don't make it wait any longer.